For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Kohl's gets it. Valentine's Day comes with expectations. Grand expectations, telepathic expectations, and heart-shaped everything expectations. Yes, even waffles. Kohl's has gifts that rise to the occasion. From romantic to playful, sparkly to sweet, or all of the above. Plus, get 15% off some of your finds. So go ahead, exceed those Valentine's Day expectations with Kohl's. Select styles, offer ends February 16th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
This month, iHeartRadio is celebrating the stars of the 2026 Winter Games. Michigan natives Madison Chalk and Evan Bates are the undisputed leaders of American ice dance. As reigning world champions, they arrive in Milano Cortina with a reputation for storytelling and seamless chemistry that captivates judges and fans alike. After years of climbing the ranks, the duo is poised to cap their illustrious careers with the ultimate prize. They take the ice with one goal, bringing Olympic gold home. For more Winter Games gold, search Olympics on the iHeartRadio app.
The games are over, so there's only one thing left to do: overreact. The NFL Draft Nerd is here to weave through the world of sports and separate fact from fiction. Get involved. The call-in line's open at 864-240-5480. You can tweet us, we don't call it X, at the NFL Draft Nerd. Now, here's that creed-loving, bird-fearing, football lunatic, Jeremy Greene.
It's a brand new day. It's a day where Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion, and it feels so good. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. You're in Overtime, 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate. We only got an hour, so Trey, we have to work quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Quickly and efficiently. Text line, 864-777-9593. Call-in line, 864-240-5480. And there is a question that I'm burning on. I've heard this a lot today, that this will not be a Super Bowl that we really remember. Wasn't super memorable. And I kind of gristle at that, not because I thought the game was special in any shape, form, or fashion, but I do feel like we got a confirmation last night of you don't necessarily have to have an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl at this point.
Oh, yeah.
We have so many quarterbacks around the league that are making just crazy amounts of money. And you get a guy like Sammy D, MVP. You're going to hear that a lot tonight. I would love to tell you you're not, but I would be like.
Good thing we only have an hour instead of two.
It's for sure. Trey, when he told me we were preempted the first hour, the first thing he said was that means I have to hear way less Sam Darnold than I was expecting.
Yes. Yeah.
Sam gets his ring. I would say in the pantheon of reasons they won that game, the defense is 1, 2, 4, and 5. Sam did what he was asked to do, which is don't turn the ball over. I don't necessarily need you to be elite. I need you to be good and take care of the ball. And that is what he did. Last night, Drake May had more turnovers from 9:49 to 9:59 Eastern time than the Seattle Seahawks had in the playoffs.
Yep.
That's hard to think about when you really try to wrap your brain around that. That is an insane stat.
Oh, they've been efficient.
And that's what Seattle's done so well. It's a very multiple defense. Very multiple. They can send guys from all over the place.
We saw that last night.
For sure. And I thought Nick Emanwari was going to be the X factor. I barely said his name. The X factor was Devin Witherspoon. And as we go through, I am the NFL Draft Nerd. My holiday season has officially begun. It is Draftmas.
Draftmas.
And this is a really good time to point out, having corners really helps. Because the two teams we saw play last night, they have a lot of corners. 2 really legit each. And then a third that's passable.
Right. I wish I knew what that was like.
The Jets had 1. I actually had 2, and then they let them both go. That's okay. My team's terrible. But I do find it funny that as we've gone down this rabbit hole, it's so hard for people to let their preconceived notions die.
Right.
Sam Darnold is a bust quarterback to most people. So most people look at that quarterback and they don't care what they just saw. They're so stuck on that he was a bust and he didn't work out in New York and he can't possibly be a top 10 quarterback in this league.
Right.
But he is. And I think it was on perfect display last night. Sam didn't have a great game. Sam was also pressured at one of the highest rates I've ever seen, and he didn't get sacked until the fourth quarter. There's a merit to that. Did he make huge plays? No. He also didn't commit huge turnovers. He didn't get sacked at inopportune times and put that team behind the chains, because what they wanted to do, what their goal was to come into this game, run Kenny Walker. They had identified that linebacking core for New England and the defensive tackles, and they said, these guys cannot hold up against us. I had said that all week last week. I like Kenny Walker against this defense.
Yeah.
The question was, could Sam avoid the mistakes he's made in the past? He looked like a 10-year vet, and Drake May looked like a second-year quarterback.
Hey, he looked like Sam Darnold.
He kind of did look like Sam Darnold at times. He really looked like a kid that didn't have a counterpunch. He also looked like a kid whose offensive coordinator did not trust him at all. Now, that's the positive for Seattle. Here's the positive for New England. You weren't supposed to be here. So the fact that you lost doesn't change anything for me. You just got the best experience for your young quarterback that you could possibly ever have. How often do we talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow and on Justin Herbert? They can't get over the hump.
Yep.
Well, Drake May has. And so when you go to do this again, you have a quarterback that has the experience of getting over the hump. Got our first call of the night. That's exactly what we're looking for. We want you to get involved. Call in lines 864-240-5480. First call of the night. Who is this?
Hey, Jeremy, this is Rocky in Greenville.
Hey, Rocky, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hope you are. Just a couple of thoughts on last night. You were talking about Sam Darnold. Look, Sam Darnold didn't need to be good. Need to be heroic last night because of that team. And that Witherspoon kid was unbelievable for Seattle. But it was the team around Darnold, and you're talking about you can go through the years. I'm not going to go through them. I can use some names, Trent Dilfer and Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's not a Hall of Famer. And Nick Foles, these quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls because of the team that was around them. They didn't have to be heroic. They just needed to not put the ball in danger. And you just said it. Yeah, Darnold didn't throw an interception until later. He just needed to be just God, what do you say? Manage the game. Gosh, that's such a cliche. But nonetheless, so you don't necessarily you got a team like I think what Seattle proved is they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. I mean, that game last night when it was 9-0, 3 field goal lead, it almost to me watching the game felt like it was a 3 touchdown lead.
I said routinely last night, I've never seen a game that was a single-digit deficit, and it felt like it was 406 to nothing.
Yeah, really, and I think Seattle, and I called Trey. I called earlier.
Oh yeah,
with John and on his show, and I just said that it's not Seattle's fault that they're just that good on defense. I mean, New England, I commend them. They didn't break for a while, and I commend them on that. But I knew early on in that game, man, that there's no way New England's going to be able to do anything. And I think Seattle knew that as well. So I think Seattle and that team and the coach and all have kind of made a statement there. While they don't maybe have superstars like the Legion of Boom did, 4 or 5 on defense, they have a group of players on that defense that play as a unit, and they're pretty dang good. So I think they've made kind of a statement. They're going to be around, and probably you can look at the odds of the Super Bowl next year where they might be. They're probably up there in the top 5.
They are the favorite, plus 650.
Okay, so that's probably up there in the top, whether it be 1, 2, or 3. But nonetheless, and the last thing I was thinking, and maybe you have at the end of the game, I listen to some shows on the weekend on the station, 104.9, the national shows, and they deal with a lot of odds and gambling and stuff like that. And all the information I got that probably the majority of the money was going on the under, and it really looked like that. But then later in the game, just on a more lighthearted moment, I bet there were some people that picked the under that was like, all right, gosh, if New England just gets a garbage or something like that, Seattle's got it in the bag, and they were to get a score, there are going to be a lot of people to lose money on that game last night.
I was an over better that when Kenny Walker scored the touchdown that came back on the hold, I may have jumped over a table. I don't really remember. I was already pretty electric because I had A.J. Barner, first touchdown scorer and anytime touchdown scorer. So the night had already paid for itself.
Well, I tell you, and I started thinking, really, Jeremy, that initially I said, gosh, this game's a dud. But you know what? Like I say, with Seattle, it's not Seattle's job to make it their goal, and that team is that we want to kick the tails of the team we're playing, and we want to beat the heck out of them.
One of my favorite lines.
So it's not our job that New England wasn't able to do anything. But, New England, I think, and I'll be interested in the rest of your hour. God, I hate you guys. I wasn't even going to listen to Dawn Staley and on the Carolina calls. I don't know where that came from. Good gracious. But for you not to get your 2 hours. But I think New England's in good hands. Vrabel probably is thinking in his head, and, we got here, and probably if you'd ask him back at the beginning of the season over a beer or something like that, do you think he'll make the Super Bowl? No, but so they probably got there. They're in good hands. New England's in good hands. Unfortunately, last night, Drake May, he's a young man, but he looked like he was a boy amongst men on the other side of the line of scrimmage, unfortunately. But they'll get back. I promise you, Vrabel's going to get them back because they got the right coach up there in New England, and I'm not a fan of New England. I'm a Washington fan. But nonetheless, I started thinking about it, and I said, that's a pretty dang good team, Seattle Seahawks. And Darnold he's just one of those quarterbacks, if he doesn't put it in danger, don't drop the ball, don't throw interceptions. Although he came dang close. He was in the first half. Those New England receivers, evidently they had a good scouting report because they were trying to jump routes, and they really came close. He had to thread the needle, and credit to Darnold. But if he was off even a little bit or a second leg, those were picks.
Sammy was feeling dangerous last night. I feel very sure of that. He walked out feeling a little dangerous, and he got reined in pretty quick.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, man. Well, enjoy your show. I'm glad you're on. So have a good night.
Thank you, Rocky. We appreciate you as always. Seattle.
Red Sea on the text line.
Seattle last night, they proved why I work so hard on the draft every year. Trey, I'm going to give you a list of names. And this is not going to mean much in a vacuum until I pay it off at the end.
Okay.
Last year, this is a team that took Gray Zabel, Nick Eamon-Morey, Torrey Horton, who was not able to play last night because he's on IR, Riley Mills. Riley Mills was the one that picked up Jared Wilson and threw him in Drake May's lap.
Right. Okay, yes.
That's 4 guys that you hit in one class. Yeah, Elijah Arroyo didn't do a ton. Jalen Milroe was completely irrelevant. The rest of the class didn't do much. But that's 4 contributors that you added in one draft class. The year before that, they had Byron Murphy, Tyrese Knight, A.J. Barner.
Okay.
Was one of your best defensive players. A really good linebacker in Tyrese Knight. A.J. Barner, who scored your first touchdown. 2023, they had 2 picks in the top 20. Devin Weatherspoon, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. It's probably the 2 best players in that class. Probably the 2 best players in that entire draft class. You got one at 5, you got one at 20. You also added Derek Hall, who had a sack last night. Zach Charbonnet, who unfortunately was hurt, but helped get you here. And Anthony Bradford, who was your starting guard. Year before that, you went Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, Kenny. Sorry, as I see this, I just start laughing. I remember this class. I liked this class. Charles Cross, Boye Mafe, Kenny Walker, Abe Lucas, Kobe Bryant, Reek Woolen. That was your first 6 picks. All 6 of them played last night.
Wow. Okay.
Now, the funny thing, the year before that, they had 3 picks total. It was the fewest any teams had in modern NFL draft history. They had 3 total. It was them and New Orleans the year they traded for Ricky Williams.
Okay.
The year before that, there's nobody left except 1 kick returner. So now we have the answer. How long does it take to turn a roster? It's 4 years. You have to have 4 good to great drafts to turn a roster. Because outside of Sam Darnold, who was a free agent addition, Cooper Kupp, who was your leading receiver,
yep,
and a couple ancillary pieces, Josh Jobe, pretty much you drafted every player on that team. Seattle's not a free agent destination. They identified Sam Darnold because some guys on the offensive staff had worked with him in the past, and they said, that's our guy. Is he going to be Pat Mahomes? No, he's not. But we have a roster that can be tied together, and we need a quarterback that can tie us together. And if you listen to Seattle after the game last night, you got a bunch of players that told you Sam Darnold is my guy. I get it. I've been on this for years. For me, it's very vindicating that Sam has now paid off the mullet prophecy of many years ago.
Right, you don't look like a conspiracy theory nut.
Oh yeah, I mean there were so many there were so many Looney Toonies that told me I was a Looney Toonie. And you know it's funny. I think they all lost my number because I haven't gotten the amount of apologies today that I thought I would.
You didn't reach out.
I mean, I didn't write back, so they didn't contact me. But it does feel good today to look at one of the true good guys in this league, and really a franchise that's easy to pull for because they do this the right way.
Yeah.
Text line is open. As always, you can get to us by text, which is what our buddy Red C did. That text number is 864-777-9593. Said, Jeremy, when are we getting the post-Super Bowl mock draft with trades? I don't do trades until after the Combine. So I will be heading to the Combine in just 2 short weeks, which
oh wow,
that feels insane because I feel like I've been back in Asheville for about 15 minutes after our trip to Dallas and to Mobile. And then I think it's the Tuesday after the Combine, we'll have a full mock draft with trades. We're putting out individual team mock drafts on the YouTube channel now. We're doing it alphabetically this time. I always try to find creative ways to release them that aren't just in numeric draft order.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does. So I've gone backwards alphabetically. I went down the color wheel one time.
You sorted by color. Yeah.
I took a color wheel and just went, we're going to go in a big circle. You try to find creative ways to get certain teams out first and then kind of flip them as you go. But it is mock draft time, and I'm very excited about it. And now I get to do it on 2 shows. So I have mine every day, and I get to do it here. I'm very excited about that. Red Sea continued, asking for both my Cardinals Discord servers and as a fellow draft nerd. Side note, falafel New England. I've gotten a lot of that today of, yeah, the Jets fan hates New England. I really don't. I have no issue with this New England team because I could say the same thing about New England that I said about Seattle. This team has been rebuilt through the draft.
Yep.
It's not as easy to hate Drake May as it was to hate Tom Brady. It doesn't feel like the evil empire. It doesn't feel like the level of hatred that I had for Bill Belichick and Brady because they just won constantly. And we had Joe Namath handing them a Super Bowl trophy. I'm going to do the same thing with New England that I did with Seattle. Their draft class this year, Will Campbell, this week notwithstanding, where he and Adore had something in common, which was pretty much anybody could get through them. Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams, Jared Wilson, Craig Woodson, who was probably the most unheralded, really good player they had last night. Year before that, it was Drake May. End of discussion. There's not one other player in that draft class that was any good. Year before that, Christian Gonzalez, handful of Kayshon Boutte, Bryce Behringer, the punter, Pop Douglas. Mm-hmm. This team's been rebuilt through the draft. They're not going away. If you're a Patriot hater, you're about to be very disappointed because this team's not going anywhere. Can't tell you that they're going to win Super Bowls because I don't know the answer to that. No one knows the answer to that. When we saw Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl 5 years ago, did you assume that would be the last time we saw him make even a decent run in the playoffs? No. But injuries took over. The defense is terrible. Things accelerate quickly in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking around right now going, there are some teams that they were down this year. Washington Commanders, the Detroit Lions, the Atlanta Falcons. All three of those teams could be markedly better next year. The Buffalo Bills have a new coach. So do the Baltimore Ravens. So do the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a good ascending team that has 5 picks in the top 100. Yeah, they don't have a first-round pick. They have 5 in the top 100. That team's going to be better and deeper. The Houston Texans, if C.J. Stroud can figure out how to play when it's chilly outside. He doesn't do that so well right now.
No, he does not.
C.J. Stroud is the definition of a house cat. You let him outside, he will starve to death. You better make sure that doggy door is stapled shut, because if he gets outside, he will die quick. But if he figures out how to play in weather, or they wind up with home field advantage and play within the confines of a dome, that's a really good set of edge rushers. The Los Angeles Chargers, they just made the move today that's going to set them on their path to a Super Bowl, hiring Adam Gase.
Oh, they're there, yeah.
I mean, right there. But I will say the first offensive team meeting between Mike McDaniel and Adam Gase, I really need to be a fly on that wall. Two people that I think have done more recreational drugs than you shake a stick at. Those two talking to each other, that could be pure cinema. The point is that things change in the NFL quickly. We've often said that the acronym NFL stands for not for long. I won't be shocked if Seattle's right back here next year. I also won't be shocked if they're not. I won't be shocked if New England is a contender next year. I also won't be shocked if they aren't. Every year we change about half the playoff field. Mm-hmm. The thing I saw last night was two really good franchises that know how to put a roster on the field. Whether it's the GM, the ownership group, the head coach, the quarterback. You ever notice that with good franchises, it doesn't really matter who the coach is? It doesn't matter who the quarterback is because they have such an amount of control within the building that they only hire a coach that contours to what they do. They constantly find quarterbacks that kind of remind you of each other. And they never crater out. New England, they had a couple bad years. They missed the playoffs, but they never cratered out. They were never the New York Jets or the Cleveland Browns or the Las Vegas Raiders. They were bad. They weren't bad for long. And that's a consistent with great franchises. When you have great ownership, you're never far away from contending again. And I feel like we've got some teams that I want to talk about for the 2026 season that could be a little surprising. And we're going to do that after this commercial break right here. You're in Overtime, 104.9 FM, Fox Sports Upstate.
iHeartRadio.
Olympics update.
The U.S. men's hockey team is gearing up for its first game of the Olympics. They'll take on Latvia on Thursday, hoping to flex their muscle with the return of NHL.
You want to stack this break?
Yeah.
All right, 10-4.
You demand.
So far and having a lot of fun.
The Americans have earned 11 total medals in men's hockey, but have not captured gold since 1980.
For NBC's live coverage from Italy, search Olympics on the free iHeartRadio app.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose?
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Looking for a Harley without the new bike price? Harley-Davidson at Greenville has the largest used bike inventory in the upstate, and it's always changing. If you see it, ride it. Visit 30 Chrome Drive in Greenville or online at upstateharley.com.
Are you running for office and have a message you want every voter in your district to hear? Well, that's where radio comes in. Radio is your direct line to morning commuters, midday grinders, and late nighters. Radio puts your message right where your voters are. Plus, it's 1/10 the time and cost of video. Don't just campaign. Connect with millions all over the country, even thousands in the smallest communities with radio. Call now and be on air in just 48 hours. 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Not sure how to tackle your taxes? Are you sweating the small print? You may be experiencing FOMO, the fear of messing up. The answer? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They help you get your biggest refund, and then we help you do more with it, with a personalized plan designed to help you hit your money goals. It's time to take your taxes to the max. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Upstate. Guaranteed cash money. He's the most listened to sports show in the nation. Never forget. Colin Cowherd brings his unique take on sports to you every weekday. That's called valuable. Weekdays at noon on Fox Sports Upstate.
Once upon a time,
there was a dealer for the people
that let everyone drive for just one dime down.
Think driving a nicer, newer car is a fairy tale?
Not anymore. Hear ye.
You got Tristan on the text line.
10-4. I got one from Soaring Eagle, too.
Yep, yeah.
I was trying to read it as I was talking, and I was like, that's a lot of words. That's why I took the commercial break. I was like, I'm too stupid to read and talk at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty wordy.
That in a nicer, newer car you want and deserve.
For just 10 cents down.
Is your credit history less beauty and more beast?
Credit mishaps are a tale as old as time.
But our For the People credit approval process isn't magic.
And we're the fairy godmothers of approvals.
But hurry.
This magic won't last long.
Only at the Gilstrap family dealerships. The Truck Farm's the #1 Mitsubishi, located in Easley, Greenville, and Greer. Ask about our exclusive Customers for Life program with a free lifetime engine warranty, free oil changes, and more. Call today at 306-8785 and check out all the deals online at the GilstrapFamilyDealerships.com.
Do you have a question about your home? Y'all call Wally.
Welcome to Y'all Call Wally with Waldrop Plumbing, Air, and Electric's very own.
Yeah, so I got 2 texts and I got 1 in the YouTube chat that I need to hit, or I'll 2 in the YouTube chat I need to hit as well.
Your range of expertise.
Okay.
I mean, even electric eels gotta give me the heebie-jeebies.
But the expert electricians at Waldrop are definitely up to the task.
They sure are, Dad. Our fully certified electrical geniuses can fix an overloaded panel, install new outlets, or an EV charger.
Add a ceiling fan or some gorgeous new lighting anywhere in your house.
What light through yonder window breaks? 'Tis the east. And Juliet is the sun.
Only you can jump from skilled electricians to William Shakespeare in one line.
It's like a superpower, isn't it, Dad?
It is. For HVAC, plumbing, and now anything electrical, there's only one walrus to call, folks. Join us again next time on
YallCallWally.com.
I have heart failure, and being out of breath all the time was just too much.
My lower back pain was interrupting family time.
My carpal tunnel syndrome was taking me away from work. That's why I talked to my cardiologist about my symptoms.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist.
That's why I talked to my cardiologist and discovered I had ATTR-CM, or transthyretin cardiac amyloidosis.
If you have heart failure and new or worsening symptoms, it could be ATTR-CM. ATTR-CM is a serious heart condition often accompanied by other non-heart-related symptoms. Talk to your cardiologist today and see what's possible. Vindamax, tafamidis, is a prescription pill taken once a day to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization prescription for heart problems. Tell your doctor about all your medications, medical conditions, and if you have liver problems or breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. There are no known side effects with Vindamax. For prescribing information, call 1-877-278-9632. Learn more at Vindamax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
And the winner of the iHeart Podcast Award is...
You can decide who takes home the 2026 iHeart Podcast Awards Podcast of the Year by voting at iHeartPodcastAwards.com now through February 22nd. See all the nominees and place your vote at iHeartPodcastAwards.com.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award. Explore the best selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals all in one easy app. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. You're in overtime here on 104.9 FM Fox Sports Upstate. Brought to you, as always, by our friends at Ingles Markets. Find them online, ingles-markets.com. A lot of coupons on the website this week. I hit that up to replenish my house after Super Bowl week because I think I have eaten everything that was frozen or quickly made in the last week and a half. I have eaten more Totino's pizza rolls in the last week than any grown man should ever eat. That's what happens when you're in the throes of Draftmas. What happens in overtime? You get in contact with us. Text line 864-777-9593 or hit us on the call-in line 864-240-5480. We have a couple texts on the text line. First one's from our buddy Soaring Eagle. Said he was watching the game in a Discord with a bunch of British F1 fans that were also Patriots fans. And they were pleading for their offense to start the third with a deep ball strike. And then when they did whatever that was, they're like, you know what? We deserve to lose. I'd put around 35 to 40% of this on the coaching. No, I would agree. I thought Josh McDaniels had I'll say a very lackluster offensive game plan. It felt to me like he thought he was going to be able to run off guard at Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy, which I would have happily told you that's not how this is going to work.
Right.
And then it just felt like they never had a counterpunch. It was like they didn't trust Drake May to go down the field. And so you're throwing a lot of side to side. And I'm not going to lie, and there were a bunch of people around me last night. They can confirm exactly what I'm going to say. He threw two little swing passes on the first drive, and I went, that's a real bad sign. Because it feels like you're playing not to lose instead of to win. I felt like there was a lot of that Seattle came in, the running game started working. They were not scared of New England. The blitz was just hot and heavy, and Josh McDaniels didn't have a blitz breaker. When a team starts funneling blitzes at you, you've got to find a way to make them pay.
Right, and they never let up.
Oh, and they just couldn't do it.
Relentless the whole game.
It was like, and there were times where Seattle was 100% tipping off. A blitz is coming from right here. It was always off the edge, and it was always right on the side with Will Campbell. So it was always coming off the left side. I haven't seen many teams in a game of this magnitude basically just say, I'm not getting off page one of our game plan until you prove to me that that I need to. And they never did. Seattle backed off late. Drake did hit one down the outside to Mac Hollins. And for a second we thought, little Patriot magic.
Maybe
28-3. And then that was shut up quite quickly because Seattle responded, and we all know how the rest of it went. But I would agree with Soaring Eagle. I would put a good amount of this on the coaching. I don't like a lot of what Josh McDaniel did last night. Another on the text line from our buddy Tristan said, Jeremy, do you believe the Seahawks' performance last night on special teams was one of the best in Super Bowl history? Myers was 7 of 7, and the punts were all landing within the 10-yard line with ease. I said this earlier. I wouldn't have been mad if they gave the MVP to Michael Dixon and Jason Myers, because the kickers for Seattle were the difference. They kept New England was pinned deep the entire game.
Dude, every drive it felt like started at the 4-yard line.
It also Jason Myers was with the Jets when I was, so I know him quite well.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you, he is one of the most automatic kickers from inside 50 that I've ever seen. I think he missed one, and that was back in 2018, 2019. He just never misses inside 50. And it felt like Seattle got to a point where it was, I'm going to get inside the 50, and what happens from there happens. If we score a touchdown, great. They had one time where a guy leaked out behind the secondary. It was A.J. Barner. New England's had trouble with tight ends all year long.
Yep.
I wasn't overly surprised that A.J. Barner got in the end zone. It was not how I thought he would get in the end zone. I thought Carlton Davis would get flagged for a PI in the end zone, and he'd wind up with a touche-bouche from the one. That didn't happen one time. So, happy accident that I was right, even though I wasn't really right. I do think it was a really special display of special teams play. And I do find it funny that it was Jim Harbaugh's kid that was coordinating the special teams unit for the Seahawks. But I mean, it is a big deal to have your kicker and your punter be in line.
Oh, yeah.
Be consistent. I don't necessarily need you hitting them from 65, but I need you to be absolutely automatic from inside 45.
Right. That's all we need.
And that's what Myers was last night. Dixon felt like he was throwing punts. Just, that one landed on the 4, bounced right inside the pylon. It was a display, and it was definitely huge last night. In our YouTube chat, you can always find us online. You can see our lovely faces. We have cartoon baby Trey because I'm still in Asheville. Cartoon baby Trey just looking real sad. For some reason, it's snowing inside. I don't really know why that's happening. With the score of the game and holding his Steelers helmet. It's become one of my favorite parts of the prep for this show is finding out what sweet baby Trey is going to look like. You get so much better of a side of that than Tank does.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of Tank.
Oh, I'll send you a couple. Actually, I can send them to you right now because I sent him a couple. He is – I don't know why ChatGPT thinks he is like Kid Rock's illegitimate leprechaun nephew. But it is so funny how far down the rabbit hole it's gotten, and it's laser consistent. It's got his face perfectly. You get a much better version of that.
Yeah, it's a little. It looks like a sweet little baby.
Just sweet baby Trey. I will say people look at me a little funny when I say I've got to go make sure sweet baby Trey is on the YouTube stream. Like, that's a weird thing for you to say about your dude co-host. I don't know why you did that. No, I'm going to walk away from you now. In our YouTube chat, Robert Moore asked, he said, what up, Jeremy? Is it best for the Cardinals to draft and develop, clean the books in 2026, then flex your quarterback and push for contention in 2027? Look, if you need a quarterback this year and you're looking for one, how do I appropriately say this? This is like the dating pool in a small town of less than 400 people where we've all dated each other. There are no secrets here. There are no studs here. There's nobody that's coming out of the woodwork to be a Super Bowl champion next year. There's a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo, trade for Mac Jones, or Kyler Murray, or the further down that rabbit hole that you go, the less you like it. So I mean, if I'm Arizona or a team in need, if I can get what I want for Kyler Murray, sure, I'll wait a year. I'll wait a year and just see what that quarterback class looks like next year. Now, I will caution you, yes, we think that this quarterback class in 2027 is going to be special. We thought the one in 26 was going to be pretty good too. And it did not go nicely because Drew Aller and Garrett Nussmeier and on and on and on have just been huge disappointments. So you have to kind of do that with caution. But next year, there's 12. We have 12 legit quarterback prospects next year. I don't think all of them can crater into the rocks, but I've been wrong before.
Let's say weirder things have happened.
Dylan Joyner in our YouTube chat said, sorry to take away from the Super Bowl talk. Not a worry at all. It's your show, so we move as you move. Any ear to the ground knowledge on the James Pierce Jr. situation? Hard to believe some of the things being reported. I guess anything is possible in the age of Sharon Moore. I will tell you the only thing that I know two things definitively. One is that a very bad incident happened in Miami between him and WNBA player Rakia Jackson. Mm-hmm. The details of that are a little sketchy at this point. I've been told it's worse than what's being reported. I'm not really sure how that's possible, but it's very, very bad. And just what little I know of the situation, that carries a 5-year minimum prison sentence in Florida. Florida's not a state that plays with things like that, which is it's the way it should be.
Yeah.
The other thing I know is that all of the things I had been told about James Pierce Jr. a year ago were that he was really immature, but there was no malice to him. That is obviously not the case. So, I mean, I said I didn't think he was a character red flag. I talked to coaches on the Tennessee staff that was verbatim said to me. There's no malice in this kid. He's very immature. This is not very immature. This is incredibly stupid and quite dangerous. So, you know, the legal process will take hold. He bailed out, I think, Sunday night, and so we'll see where that goes from there. If I was Atlanta, I would be irate right now of how can you possibly be this stupid?
Right.
That always blows my mind with guys that work so hard their whole life to get to a place, and you throw it away in nothing flat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been in this league less than a year. It's unfortunate. I feel for the victim in the case, and I hope the legal process takes care of JPJ. Oh, Trey, I'm not going to lie. This is always one of those weird times of the year where I'm like, okay, we made it through the season. We survived. But now what? What do we do now? And, of course, the answer is we look ahead to who's going to be good next year.
Right. It's the future.
I obviously believe that Seattle and New England are set up for long-term success. I don't think that's not a spicy hot take.
Right.
It just is what it is. For those that are interested in breaking news from a week and a half ago, Clint Kubiak is officially now the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, who saw that coming?
But yeah, by the way, can we just the formality of that? Do we have to do that? I mean, we all already knew that, so why do we?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Breaking news. That's not breaking news. It was breaking news a week and a half ago. Trey, is there a team you look at for next year that you go, I really believe in them, even if you can't necessarily justify it?
I mean, I would say there's a little bit of a homer in me, not actually Pittsburgh, but just from being from South Carolina, that the Panthers look to be trending upwards. I definitely agree with what we talked about, earlier this season about they seem to be ahead of schedule. I don't necessarily know that they're going to go all the way. I don't think they will go all the way, but I expect to see the Panthers back in the playoffs again. I feel like they're building something there. A lot of that probably predicated on how they draft this year, but, I mean, you've got Ted McMillan locked in, the great receiver. You've got Bryce Young still on his rookie contract, so you're cooking there. Dave Canales seems to be a great coach, so that's good. I think you get a couple more pieces on defense. You figure out that offense a little bit more, and this could be a dangerous team.
So I've seen a lot of way too early 2026 power rankings as a programming note. I'll be doing that on my show tomorrow at noon. Because when you give me lemons, don't be shocked when I make lemonade. Especially when I look at a lot of your rankings and go, some of you people are smoking recreational crimes because apparently you don't know what this thing called free agency is, where players leave a team and you only have so much money to sign them. So tomorrow at noon, we will be doing that in the Sportsocracy. There are two teams that I'm really fond of, and it's kind of hard for me to show my work on why. One of them is the Washington Commanders. I get it. That team was not good this year. The quarterback was hurt. You're only a year removed from they were in the NFC Championship game. We were talking about Jaden Daniels being the next great quarterback in the NFL, and then he
was hurt.
He was hurt almost the entire year. You went 5-12. It wasn't great. And now they've got, I think, the 5th most cap space in the league. They don't have a ton of players.
Right.
And they don't have a ton of draft picks.
They need to get younger.
They do need to get younger. If I'm Washington, I'm targeting. I've got to, whether it's Deebo Samuel, which I don't think it is, or someone else. This is a really good receiver draft. I'm trying to find a weapon for JD5.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to come up with another running back to spell Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Yeah.
And I need a pass rusher. Good thing is I know definitively there will be a pass rusher on the board when they pick at 7 because there's 3 of them. And there's a quarterback going in front of you, a safety going in front of you, and possibly a running back going in front of you, along with at least 1, if not 2, offensive linemen. They should be able, whether it's David Bailey from Texas Tech, Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami, they should be able to add a pass rusher in the draft. I look at that team and go, I won't be shocked if their record flips next year and they go from 5-12 to 12-5. I just think it's a good team. The more I've thought about it, having 2 young first-time coordinators on that staff with Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I like Dan Quinn a lot.
I do too, and I didn't like everything I saw out of Cliff Kingsbury towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ironic that he had to settle for an associate job on the Rams staff. There's an ego there that, I mean, look, he was a former head coach. Those guys are hot commodities.
Oh, yeah.
But for him to walk away from Washington by choice, and it was a mutual decision, is kind of strange. And then the fact that nobody really lined up to hire him. He interviewed a bunch of places, but he didn't get offered anything. That's always a little strange to me. I think there were things happening in Washington that maybe not all of us know. And you just kind of have that one clean the books year. The other one that I'm really intrigued by is Jacksonville. I was very fond of Jacksonville this year solely because I think with an offensive head coach in Liam Cohen, you finally got out of Trevor Lawrence what you were expecting 5 years ago. The pass rush was really good. You'll get Travis Hunter back, which is almost like your first-round pick because he only played about half the season. I fully believe he's going to play corner, not exclusively, but now Liam's going to see what I saw a year ago, which is if you're thinking this kid's a receiver above all else, we need to talk about what you're seeing that I'm not. Because I always thought he's a corner that can play 10 to 15 snaps a game on offense. And now they have Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, and Parker Washington. I don't need him to play more than 10, 15 snaps, but I need him to be a really good shutdown corner. There are a couple others that I think could be really interesting. I mean, and obviously this is not the obvious ones. Seattle, New England, the Rams. Mm-hmm. I think Denver's going to take a step back next year. I kind of think Buffalo's going to take a step back next year. Detroit should be right in line to be competitive again. We had a bunch of teams that I think had a one-year blip, whether it was changes in coaching staffs. That would be Detroit, Philadelphia.
Right.
Injuries, which would be Washington, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Baltimore. Those teams are all going to be competitive again. I'm kind of looking for the one that's going to come out of nowhere. You said Carolina. I like that one a lot. The other one that I'm very intrigued by, and it's all very dependent on their quarterback, is Minnesota.
Ooh, interesting.
That Minnesota team was really good. I don't believe people understand how bad their quarterback was last year. To go from Sam Darnold.
You got a text.
To J.J. McCarthy is a drop-off that's kind of hard to quantify.
Yeah.
Because you went from – when you build a team and you say, we're going to play really good defense, we're going to prop up the quarterback, the two things that you have to have is a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over and you have to be able to run. It's two things Minnesota didn't have last year. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt they're going to bring in another quarterback. Now, if it's one that's actually supposed to compete with McCarthy or if it's just a vet for leadership purposes, think Jacoby Brissett, Josh Dobbs, somebody like that. I don't really care who it is. I think they'll end up starting by week 6. It could be Carson Wentz. He looked good at times before he destroyed his shoulder behind that offensive line.
Yeah.
Minnesota is intriguing to me because talent is hard to find, and it's really hard to find it in a year. So when you're looking for these teams that could have that out-of-nowhere resurgence, look for the ones that you already know have pieces. You just kind of have to round it out. Then we get to these teams were bad last year. They'll be bad next year, and I don't think anything's going to change that. The New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Cleveland Browns, the Miami Dolphins, the Las Vegas Raiders. I will not be saying kind things about you guys. Say that again, Trey.
I said solid list.
The Raiders are interesting solely because I think Brady has had a lot to do with this offseason. And now he brings in an offensive coordinator from Seattle and Clint Kubiak to be the head coach with Mendoza that I think is very interesting. I believe we have a call on line 1.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
We're good. How are you?
Not too bad. Hey, I just wanted to call in about how the free agency this year. And I know that there's no big names like, obviously – running backs, you got Breece Hall, you got Lloyd in the linebacker room. There's not really any big cornerbacks or safeties. But I feel like this is a sneaky good free agency class. The linebackers, the defensive line, even some of the tackles and guards are going to be good this year. And like you're talking about with the coaches, I feel like there's a lot of displacement this year where there's not a lot of solid pieces. You harped on and on about quarterbacks in the past, but I feel like offensive line play this year, we've seen maxes and minimums. I feel like the trenches are going to change a lot, especially after, this Super Bowl and following the Philadelphia Fits and seeing the Chiefs blow. I think that there's going to be a linebacker and trench play shift going forward, especially with the draft and free agency. I just want to know your thoughts.
We appreciate – what was your name?
Alex from Charlotte, go Panthers.
Alex, we appreciate your call. I do agree with you. I think this free agency class, especially with Devin Lloyd, I'm not sure he's going to wrangle his way out of Jacksonville. I got a text earlier today that said expect way more franchise tags than you think, which in my head immediately went Tyler Linderbaum, Devin Lloyd, George Pickens we already know is going to happen. I was thinking Kenny Walker, a handful of others. I think you're going to see, as I call it in the meaty clackers, of the 25th to 50th best players out there, I think you're going to see a lot of those guys move teams. And when we get down to the nitty-gritty next year, you're going to see a lot of them making impacts on very good teams. On our way out, Rocky sent a text, said, I hope the Commanders make progress. I think a team to watch next year is the Jacksonville Jaguars. He then texted and said, you actually said it, as I was texting. Rocky and I, we do seem to be on the same page. We all try to be on the same page. There's no more football left, but it doesn't mean football ends. Seconds. He's Trey Falco. I'm Jeremy Greene. Join us right back here, 7 o'clock next Monday in overtime on 104.9 Fox Sports Upstate, brought to you by our friends at Ingles Markets.
Kix Layton here with my good friend Dewey, Dewey's Pawn Shop at 5900 Augusta Road. So everybody knows that Dewey's buys, sells, and trades guns.
All right.
Nailed it.
Well done.
Oh, I'm going to go die because I have to be back here in so my house is 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
So if I walk out the door right now, I should be home by 9:10. I have to be back here at 6:45 tomorrow.
Woo! All right, yeah, you get out of there.
When I have a nervous breakdown, Trey, I really need you to. I need you to be the one that I can count on to not say, "Well, we could never have seen that coming." The first person that says that at my funeral, I want you to punch him in the face.
I can do that.
You couldn't see it coming? Really? You haven't? Really? You weren't paying much attention, were you? Oh, bro, I appreciate you as always.
Absolutely.
Do you need anything from me?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. I'm hoping to have an answer on that thing we were talking about earlier. So.
Okay.
Oh, somehow I hired 2 people, and I think that everybody looks at me now like, oh, he's got help, so we can ask him all these questions that we haven't asked for the last 4 months.
Right.
No. The reason you haven't asked this. Do what?
You said that's why I hired them.
Bingo. Yeah, I hired them to answer those questions, so you should ask them. And, of course, neither one of them were here today, and so it has just been like an open freight train of people walking through here going, hey, can you do that? It's the day after the Super Bowl. I don't know if you know that logo on that's sports. We do sports, and it's the day after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, not today.
No. But I'll be in touch hopefully tomorrow, and we'll get everything.
There's no rush on it, man. I know you're busy.
Oh, dude, it's one of those things that I'm like, I wish somebody just come buy me out. Just come buy me out. We'll have great fun times, and I'll work for you, and I'll be the best expensive employee you've ever had. Because I want somebody to buy me out, but I don't want to make any less money. Probably not how that works.
I get that. That makes sense.
That's probably not how that works, but in a perfect world, it would.
In a perfect world, yes. Not in this world.
Nailed it. All right, bro. I appreciate you. Be safe getting home.
You too.
See you, brother.